Luka is recognized as one of the top 150 machine learning experts by the Google Developer Group. In addition to engineering, he enjoys education, and in 2019, he launched one of his companies that focuses on this. Currently, this company has educated over 300,000 people worldwide. He is presently working as a data strategy and ML consultant through his company Data Blues, and is completing a PhD in applied AI. Luka believes that in rapidly evolving digital world, an effective data strategy is crucial for executives to lead with confidence. This talk will not only underscores the importance of crafting a solid data strategy, but also provides a step-by-step methodology to achieve it. You will learn why a data-driven approach is essential for competitive edge and informed decision-making, as well as actionable insights to future-proof your organization and guide it toward long-term success. Luka, floor is yours.
Let's see if, okay, cool. Hi, everyone. So the previous presentation was amazing intro for what we're going to talk about, and amazing question that I'm trying to answer with this talk as well. So as you got an introduction, my name is Luka, and I've been working in AI industry for past 7 to 8 years, and had experience working with clients that have a couple of employees to a couple of thousand employees, and worked with projects that just observe employees internally, so a couple of requests, to Photomat that had 300 million concurrent users every single day. So, yeah. And in the past 2 years, I'm doing that, helping companies transfer that knowledge and help them extract data value. Sorry? Yeah. Yeah, you should. Okay, cool. So, do you have any questions? Thank you for your attention. I can start again, so but I'm gonna skip everything that I said. So, should we wait for 3 minutes?
Yes.
Cool. Let's wait for 3 minutes. Sam was definitely a productionized guy who believes in getting profits from AI, which is amazing. We all see that it's working for OpenAI right now. But the board, Ilya, for example, who is the main guy and researcher and co-founder of OpenAI, never believed in that, and he always believed in deploying and working on secure or safe AI. And like, we can negotiate with nobody. Nobody really knows what happened internally. So my opinion was definitely that the actions were abrupt without actually thinking twice about it. So it was wrong.
So you believe it was internal?
Internal?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
With no interactions like other bigger players, because there is a whole like.
But I think it's conspiracy at this moment. Yeah, I don't know, but I think so. Yeah. Yeah. We have a couple of more minutes.
Yesterday I was in the museum of Nikola Tesla, and
Yeah.
there was one big like quote of
Yeah.
him saying that we are living right now in a really interesting time and like evolving technology and blah blah blah, and this is time of like also fights between more like how to say about like earning money and what is good for humankind and so on. And as I was reading that, and not thinking that this is Nikola Tesla, it would be like relevant point to point to today's society.
Yeah.
So like that was so interesting to me because it really, as sometimes in this conference is said, it really repeats itself. The history, it's only the wrapping a little bit different.
Yeah, and if you move like a bit closer with Apple and Steve Jobs in ITs, exactly the same thing. Yeah, and like the only difference is the time spent. Like when they fired Steve Jobs, it took about a couple of years, if I'm not wrong, to bring him back. But right now, like it took 2 days to changed twice for Sam. Like he moved to Microsoft and then moved today actually back to OpenAI. So I don't know if you heard, but yes, OpenAI brought him back. Amazing. Sorry?
He brought himself.
Sure. I think they changed the board. That's kind of a new thing. So, and I think everything will stay the same except the board.
And it was also for me interesting to see like 95% of the people actually
Yeah.
stood behind him. And is it like your opinion, did you see this, that people working in AI are a little bit different crafted as it was before in the sense of loyal?
So I think that Sam is amazing leader, like one of the best that I ever seen, like in tech space today. But he's not an expert in AI, so the decision for Microsoft to bring him to the kind of a lead AI team is amazing because that actually would bring 700 people to Microsoft. So it just speaks about his leadership skills. He's amazing. And about the people in the company, you have mixed all over. But in the research, people like really are like really you have from introvert to extrovert. You have everything in research, and I think it's is any IT industry. AI is not different that much. Yeah.
Yeah, I did my point.
More questions? Thank you. Yeah. So cool. Yeah, actually, for people who just came, I started a couple of minutes ago, so we are just filling in the space. Okay. Should I start the timer or? Okay, cool. I can start? Yes. Again? Okay. So, okay. So for people who just came, my name is Luka. I started a couple of minutes ago, so it was a short break. Cool. And yeah, so I've been in the industry for quite a long time, worked for many different companies from different shapes and sizes, startups to big corporations. And in the past 2 years, I've been working and leading Data Blues company and helping companies from startups to Dell, Workday, ServiceNow, that type of companies and exactly those, to understand how to approach their data and how to extract value from those data sets that they have. And one of the services that we are providing and helping leadership in those companies is crafting something called the data strategy. And in the previous presentation, we saw those 2 steps, which leads you to actually prioritizing and seeing what you can do with your data. And in the next 15 to 20 minutes, I'm going to try to bridge the data gap and explain what is data strategy, why it's so important to have a data strategy in your company today, especially because we are living in ever-changing and really fast industry, which is AI. We saw that 2 days ago, some algorithm didn't exist. New data set came. And it's really important to not jump on every single opportunity, because it will lead you, your company, immediately as a donkey between 2 haystacks, don't doing anything. Okay? So that is happening all over the place. No matter if you're just a startup, jumping on every single opportunity, or you're a big organization with a lot of resources and it's dispersing those resources on everything that runs. And we all know that we are generating tremendous amounts of data. This is just one statistics. But not all data is equally useful. And not everybody will see all of the opportunities in that data. So some of us will see that exactly by our biases, we will understand what can be done with data. And that's why you need to consult and work with the different stakeholders in the company to see and provide the different perspectives on your data that you have. And when you speak about data-driven organizations and data-driven decision-making, that's kind of a buzzword that everybody loves to use in the organization and say that we are data-driven. Like every organization has different opinion of what data-driven means. And not only that, but different parts of organization might be different data-driven prepared or actually involved. And this is recent Forbes quote or statistics that 25% of business leaders consider using data in their decision whatsoever. So you see that most leaders are gut-filled. So basically using their gut to make decisions. That might be good in some cases, of course. And when we compare it to last 12 months, that the businesses that reported the revenue growth, 70% of those actually use data to make decisions. So you see the difference. Now, it is really important to see, okay, we all love to be there, being data-driven, using our data, using neighbors' data to make our decisions better. But if it's so easy to do, why nobody is doing it? It is exactly that. This is a really hard, really difficult thing to do. And there are different reasons for those. These are most of those. 92% of executives claim that it is because of data culture or culture of the company. Now, data culture is a readiness to accept the change of technology. It doesn't have to be always data. You see, for accountants, especially in Serbia, when we approach accountants and say, yes, we have a new software for you, it's going to automate certain part of your business, and they will always jump in a defense and say, oh, but it will steal my business. Right? Well, it's not only in accountants. It is happening right now in academia, in people that are much, much younger, that are just studying to become some professional. And all of that comes from not understanding what technology and data can do for you. So educating all of the employees in the company is a crucial thing. To give you a story, Dell just hired CIAO, Chief of AI Executive, that the first thing that he did is educating all of 120,000 people that work at Dell. So everybody needs to know and have a basic understanding, at least basic, of the AI as a whole. We're not speaking about implementation, of course. Like if you're doing something that is not directly connected to AI, you don't need to know how to implement, of course, but you need to understand what it is and not to be scared and not to know what's going to happen to you. And of course, when it comes to technical side, not all data is consumed immediately. So we have most of the data that we have in the world is unstructured data, videos, audio, PDFs, so contracts, all sorts of sites. It's not directly usable. So people will just skip over that and say, okay, I won't touch this. A lot of small businesses are having so many documents in paper, in Serbia especially. So automating certain steps will not come naturally to them because they don't understand this. And the last point is really crucial, which nobody actually knows. Well, not nobody, I can't claim that. But most people don't know who owns the data. Especially in larger organizations, you will have ownerships that are dispersed across the organization. And not only that, but when we introduce another aspect of ownership, which comes with regulations such as GDPR, who owns our data? Yes, we store it in our organization, but are we actually ones who owns it? Well, sometimes not. So understanding all of those things is stopping organizations to progress in this data-driven transformation, or however we call it, right? But it's not all gloom. So let's talk about how to get started, and we know what is bad. we know what are the challenges. And if you want to go, they all can be handled, of course, with time and expertise. So we have, like in our portfolio organizations that are just a couple of employees to a couple of thousands of employees who actually successfully done that. So first step is to create a roadmap of data initiatives, prioritized data initiatives that you're going to do. Now, I'm going to tell you in a couple of slides from now on how to actually do that. But this is the first step that you're going to do. And especially when we compare it to the previous presentation that we had, you have so many opportunities in front of you every single day. All of them will bring you some amount of value to your organization. Some less, some more. And a lot of organizations will jump to the easiest one. That's not the answer, because you will spend a lot of time and potentially go to the deadlock. So you need to understand what actually brings you the most value, which is reasonable time and reasonable resources to start. And before jumping on the first thing that flies, go and step back and see whether or not that is actually the right choice for you as an organization right now. So when you have this, it's much easier to forecast. You will lose the opportunity to only lead by gut feeling. So you'll have some data. And of course, it's not false, but you will have some sense of control. And this is something that you will see as a kind of end result. The first thing that you will see, any strategy connected to data, anything that you're going to do, comes from business. So you need to have the reason that you're going to do something. Not because neighbor does it, so I'm going to do this as well, which a lot of companies today will say, oh yeah, we have chatbot, our competitor has a chatbot, we need the chatbot as well. Trust me, so many companies approach me with this, but at the end of the day, they will have much better use of their time in the data, and not only a chatbot. It's just a metaphor or example. So everything comes from business. You need to have a reason for that. Either you're going to start and say, okay, most companies, of course, they want to increase the revenue, or to create new opportunities for their product, so productionizing data. You will have that no matter data strategy or not. So you will start with that no matter what. You need to have your business straight. After that, we're going to break down every of those goals that you want to achieve as an organization. And luckily, some of those can be handled with data, not all. And you will start breaking down to those strategic objectives, which are, for example, for revenue growth, in this example, you can increase or enhance, improve customer segmentation. Just an example. You can optimize price strategies. So, for example, in Photomet, when I worked there, we had a side project that helped mathematics solver actually solve tasks by hand that we couldn't with AI and get paid for that. And you will say that, yeah, this is not your core product, but we actually made the decision to go with price optimization for that and actually improved the business as a whole and had the best price optimization strategies that Google acquired right now. Okay? So all of these strategic objectives can be handled with data somehow. And that's where strategic initiatives comes into play. Now that you know what are your goals as an organization, now that you know that each of them can be handled in some way, now it's time to actually go into details and understand on how to solve specifically. We can call them later down projects that are going to be handled individually or in parallel, depending on how large your organization is. Now, in this case right here, each of objectives is targeted and handled with one initiative. It doesn't have to be a case. Some of them can have multiple initiatives connected to it. To give you an example, this is not portraying one of the biggest problems in the organization, which is data quality. And one of the clients that we worked earlier this year approached me and said, okay, I want a chatbot, of course. And we said, okay, let's go step back and see what can be done with your data. Can you actually achieve chatbot right now? Now, if you go to the OKRs, the main problem that they actually had, they wanted to decrease the time wait of the customers on the customer support end by 30%. That was their goal to achieve by the end of the year. Now, a approach to that, a solution to that, is to create a chatbot. And what happened is they approached and said, okay, yeah, we have a lot of data. We have telephone calls, we have recordings, we have chat logs, we have everything. And I started looking into that, and what happened, they have two different chat sources. One that will have telephone calls that are actually the first line of contact, and then they will, if they are not happy or they didn't receive the answer, they will start typing an email or their website. Their customer support would answer with this: as I told you in a telephone call, send. How can I train a chatbot on that? Of course you can't. So one of the initiatives was to improve that. And with their speed of delivery, if they didn't change the process whatsoever, they needed 5 to 6 months to collect sufficient amount of data to create a good chatbot that will target the OKR they had, which is decrease the waiting time by 30%. So they had two initiatives to that: decrease or increase the quality of their data, and then chatbot. Cool? They have it running up for about 2 months right now. They are reaching to that point of 30%. Now, when we talk about data-driven roadmap, it can handle multiple things, of course. These are just some of them, from revenue to human resources, and many more. It really depends on what you want, what is the pain point you have. You might have amazing human resources. Don't touch it. You don't need to automate everything. Okay? So, and each of them can be handled with a lot of different initiatives, approaches. And one of these, as you can see here, term prediction, segmentation, lead generation, and so on, recommendation systems. And just to give you an example, everybody would like to have a Gen AI in their company right now because it's sexy. Everybody's talking about it, right? But it's only 10% of whole AI landscape. If you're asking e-commerce company, to this day, if they're trying to increase revenue, the best bet is to go and work on a recommendation system. There is no Gen AI there. Okay? So how does the process of reaching the point of having the prioritized roadmap look like? You start from the business, understanding the business priorities. Then understand where you are right now. Do you have the capability inside the company to handle it right now? As I give you an example, sometimes you don't have immediate capability, but delayed one. So understanding the data gaps from where you want to go, what you want to achieve, is so important. Now, they have so many templates and tools online that you can use to map this. Two of them that showed cool success for my clients is Data SWOT and Data Asset Inventory. And when you have mapped all of the things in your company, so we are not talking, if you're a product company, we're not talking about only product, but processes that lay below that as well. So HR, sales, marketing, and so on. After that, you're starting to draft your data strategy. Connecting OKRs, connecting your business goals with potential problems or gaps that you have. And after that, you're creating initial steps that you're going to address these particular pain points. When you have this, that's the time when you start thinking about particular solutions, AI tools. Now, we had a question, do we need to implement something ourselves or rely on something already there? It really depends. Context is one of the most important things in this case. But right now, because you have so many things out there, I would always suggest starting as an MVP, something that already exists. Don't go invest your time into implementing something yourself, because we have a lot of things that are on the plate for us. Start from there and then build on top of that. Okay? And then start executing. We have a couple of more minutes, 2 minutes, and then questions, right? Cool. So I will run through this. I don't want to waste your more time, but this is just kind of an illustration that any business can benefit from using a data strategy. So this is a pizza place that exists for 60 years, and we got owners, is our uncle, and he gave us a permission to improve it. We just finished an amazing degree in data science or MBA, whoever came, yeah, and we want to improve it. Now, it existed for in the same way, operate for 60 years. It's the best in the neighborhood, and it can be improved. You don't need AI for everything. You will start by creating inventory system and correlate with sales. It can be done in Excel. No Gen AI, no AI right now. You understand the unit cost. Now, our uncle didn't work on actually improving and just ordering based on quantity, but actually just as the flow goes. Understanding profit margin by group of our products. Then we take by occupation our tables per day, per hour. And then you start refining all of these things and start thinking about, okay, we have all the data internally, but we can actually introduce more data from external side. So what we do, we start noticing that we have a lot of customers coming every Thursday between 8 and 11 p.m. So what happens? There is a game playing in the neighborhood. So everybody wants to watch that game on the TV and eat good pizza. So we are offering good offers and sales exactly Thursday when the game is playing. All of that can be done with a simple data analytics. So data strategy is not about AI. It is about use cases of what are opportunities laying in front of you on your paper without overcomplicating all the things. Thanks. Just before questions, one more thing. If you go to datablues.com/CEO and leave the email, who wants, I'll send you personal templates that I'm using for my client. So you can use that for yourself as well, for free, if you want. Yeah. Questions? Yeah, we have one question there.
Okay, thank you. Maybe regarding, you spoke about AI having just 10% of capability in a company.
Gen AI. Yeah.
Generative AI. Yeah. Do you think it's just some kind of hype nowadays, based more or less on the hype, in the whole industry, meaning managers who actually even don't know that much about data and data processing are actually looking forward to having some generative AI solutions, or is it something that we have to follow? So actually now it's 10%, but it will be increasing, and actually we have to prepare for the next years.
Thank you for the question. Great question. So I would say that definitely there is hype, but is it justified in this amount? I don't know. There is place for Gen AI, And there are definitely usable and evident cases where Gen AI is amazing. But a lot of people, a lot of founders were introduced to AI as an opportunity because of Gen AI. So whenever like I start talking about, like I had the opportunity to talk about in front of 100 owners of businesses in San Francisco, and they basically said this sentence: LLM is AI. And a lot of them, I can't say they are wrong in their head, because they are the first time they heard about AI when OpenAI introduced ChatGPT. So there is place for Gen AI, and it can do a lot, but after that, you need to have proper other techniques, not proper, but other techniques. So a lot of companies will start thinking about, oh yes, LLM can do this, 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 while LLM is amazing, but it is trained to generate text or generate answers to specific questions. And now they start thinking about, okay, can I do mathematics with that? Can I do predictive analytics with that? You can't. You can enhance potentially and create interface on top of LLM, but below it, it's still ML. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
I guess the audience spent the questions in the beginning of the
Sure.
presentation. Thank you, Luka, for your presentation, and thank you for perfectly handling the time management.
Thank
and
you.
Sorry for the little
It was not me
misunderstanding
alone.
at the beginning. We have a certificate of appreciation for you as you joined us at this conference, and hope to see you again.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.